Hey there, TigerShark here again with Okano. But this week I played a game called The Hive. It's hard for me to write reviews like this, because this is a case of the developer doing a great job in making a really good game, and yet I didn't enjoy it all that much. Now I have to be honest and say I'm just not normally into this type of game. It's a real-time strategy slash base builder. I used to love these. I spent a lot of time with Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds. But maybe it's just the oversaturation of this type of game in the mobile market, plus my tastes changing with time, plus the fact that I've been off my antidepressants for 2 weeks and it's really messing with my system. I don't know. I really think this game is pretty good for what it's worth. I like to start with the positives first and move on to the negatives after, but I guess the first thought isn't really a negative, it's mainly neutral. The intro cutscene tells the story of Earth getting destroyed and humans searching for a new home in space. They find a nice-ish planet to set up shop. Meanwhile, we play as an entirely different species on the planet that has absolutely nothing to do with this story. At least in the demo it doesn't. Maybe in the full game humans come into the gameplay, but in the demo you control a faction of alien bugs. Anyway, the voice acting for the bug creature that guides you is pretty good, although the guy who did the intro was just okay.
Protectors of the long-dead temple cities, once rulers of the underworld, now just a whisper in the wind.
The bug designs are, bugs. Sufficiently gross, I guess. Moment-to-moment gameplay is solid. I'm realizing right now I have a lot of critiques and it's hard to praise anything without mentioning issues I had. Oh well, here we go, I guess. First thing, there was no tutorial. I hate lengthy tutorials that go on forever, but not having a tutorial at all is not really better. Luckily I can figure things out on my own a lot of the time, but the game just throws you into the gameplay without so much as use your mouse to move the camera and select units. You're given the task of building a hive and not told how to do that. I did figure it out. You have to select a worker and then press B or click the build button. The game doesn't really tell you how to gather resources either other than food. But luckily that's not hard. It doesn't tell you how combat works either. This is another case of the developer maybe just assuming that the players have played games like this before. But as I said in a previous video, if you have no experience playing RTS games, then you really have no frame of reference for how some of the mechanics work. The camera was a little sensitive, and the rotation is a little hard to get used to. Normally in this type of game you don't even have camera rotation. The objects that get in your view just get transparent so you can see what's going on. So definitely an interesting choice here. There is a cone on the minimap that shows which way you're looking so you can reorient yourself if you get confused. One of my bigger gripes is the control system for the units. You can click an individual unit, or you can click and drag to select multiple units, which is great. The huge quality of life feature this game doesn't have, or at least I didn't find a way to do it, was the ability to select all of a certain type of unit, or to assign units to groups. I really like those features just in case some of my units get separated and one or two are hiding off in a corner somewhere, and so I can quickly select specific ones. It's not a huge deal that this game doesn't have that, but I was missing it. Although maybe it does exist in the game, but the lack of a tutorial means I had no idea how to do it. A couple more thoughts before I finish here. I didn't think the UI was amazing, but it wasn't the worst I've ever seen either. And I think one of the reasons I had a hard time getting into the game is because I'm seemingly playing as bad guys. Or maybe they're not technically bad, but they're creepy and give off a bad guy vibe. I really tried to play Renegade in Mass Effect or Darkseid in Knights of the Old Republic, or play as a villain in Fable, but I just can't make myself play a bad character. It goes against my nature. So for a number of reasons, I am not the target audience for this game. But I did try to give it an objective chance. I hate when my reviews feel negative. I do think the dev has something good here, I just personally couldn't get into it. Anyway, I got the demo from Gamejolt.com, and the full game is on sale there for only $2. The sale ends on the 29th of June if I did the math right. If you want the game on Steam, it's $20, and you can get the demo there as well. So anyway, that's all for this one, and as always, I hope you have a spectacular day. I have other channels and projects that I would love for you to check out. I have a second channel called Drawing with TigerShark, where I have a variety of drawing content. I have an EP on Spotify called 5,555 Miles as my one-man band called Power Mouse. And finally, I have a clothing brand called Studio Duck Apparel featuring original artwork that I create myself. The links to these things will all be in the description.